Hey, everybody, welcome to West Virginia Wire. You guys, we have breaking news today. I have a special guest. We've got Bitcoin Barbie with us. We've got some breaking news in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. She called me today. She works closely with me. She's actually my business manager, and we were working on some stuff. She calls me up and she says, "Stop right now. We've got some stuff going on." And so after further review, we have looked it up. And so let me let you know what's going on. We're going to be giving you some visual aid. Barbie's going to come up on the stage. So here's what we have so far: an active security incident in Jalisco, including Puerto Vallarta. A major federal security operation was launched in Tapalpa, Jalisco. Authorities targeted cartel elements, and the operation triggered violent responses from criminal groups. As part of that unrest, burned vehicles, roadblocks, and vehicle fires have been reported in Puerto Vallarta areas. So we have someone who is actually in that area. She's getting her stuff together. I'm going to bring her up on stage, and we have a lot of visual aids to show you. So Barbie, thank you for coming. Thank you for calling me. And tell everybody what you know while you're sending out invites. We've got people that are coming, you guys. My name is Regina Connell with West Virginia Wire. Yes, we are rebranding right now. We've got some hot news coming, you guys. We do have some live streams coming, but we're going to talk about that later. Right now, what's going on over there, Barbie?
Oh my goodness. So I woke up this morning. Last week I was at a conference, and so that was called Monerotopia. A lot of people left Monerotopia to go over to something called Anarchapulco. And so a bunch of those people are my friends, have been my friends for a while. Some of them are in the crypto space, some of them are just in the freedom groups. And so this morning erupted my DMs. One of my friends said, "Hey, we are under attack right now. There is an entire cartel war, what appears to be a cartel war unfolding currently. So there's the airport in Jalisco is closed. My one girlfriend, she's very private, so she's not going to come up, but she did give me permission to throw up these. A lot of the pictures that Regina's playing right now are all images that are coming live into my feed right now from people who are currently boots on ground. I'm not in Jalisco, thank God, but apparently outside of Jalisco, and we'll get to that in just a second, apparently Guerrero is experiencing a siege at Guadalajara as well. So there's something massive unfolding. This photo that you're looking at right here is from my friend's resort. All of these buildings are on fire. Someone said, "No, this picture is AI." No, this is like literally from her resort.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
they are, and I know that someone had posted. I just want to go look over in my notifications again, as someone had actually posted.
Y'all, look at the smoke plumes while she's looking for that. And these texts that you're seeing, these DMs, we're going to read those too. First, we just wanted you to get the visual as she's explaining over it. You're doing great, Barbie. Keep going.
Thanks. Yeah, no, of course. So I got a text message from Tatiana Brew, who responded to one of my photos. It says, "It is true. We received this notice from our hotel this morning. It says, dear guests, we would like to share an update regarding a situation currently affecting parts of Puerto Vallarta. Local authorities are managing a disturbance in certain areas of the city, which has resulted in temporary road closures, a precautionary pause of transportation services to and from Licenciado Gustavo Diaz. It's the international airport. As a result..."
Barbie, sorry to interrupt. So we've got Dave in the house. Did you want me to go ahead and bring him up? Hey, Dave, thanks for coming in. You guys, I'm just going to be bringing you guys up on stage, and I'm handing all the media assets. You guys tell them who you are and keep this going.
Yeah, for
Hey
sure. So
guys,
just
how are you? This is Dave from from Anarchapulco, but a few miles away. Today was the last day of Anarchapulco, the Crypto Vigilante Summit, and as a lot of us speakers were going to actually make our way to the convention center, all of this kind of went down. Um, there's been some explosions from my balcony here. And you can see just some fog in the background. That's actually a Costco that is about 3 blocks away, that they lit a bunch of cars on fire. I think it caught the building on fire as well. Just a lot of, you can see behind me here, just random fires on the horizon. That's actually a new one, maybe about 15 minutes ago. So periodically we're having, um, cars lit on fire. Obviously, those of you who know the news, uh, head of a cartel was taken into custody and or killed. There's a lot of, who knows what's really true or not true. And the local
I've been
cartel
hearing
here,
noise.
which actually usually, I'll say this, they usually do I'm not, pro cartel or something, but they do a pretty good job keeping the peace on a day-to-day basis, as long as you don't mess with their money. And it's interesting. I spent a few months a year down in PV, and you always see the police rolling around with their lights. And some gringos I know that live down here have stories about getting pulled over and harassed and extorted for money, and for minor traffic stuff. You see the military rolling around with the machine guns on the back of their pickup trucks and everything. I'm on this major road, as you can tell here. It's been empty for hours and hours. I haven't seen a single military or police vehicle. I don't look to the government to save me, but it is certainly telling that in a time like this, when ostensibly this is why you supposedly need them. This is the ultimate value proposition, to protect and serve the public. They're nowhere to be found. And I know there's a lot of anger here from the cartel. Their leader was taken in, possibly killed. They're gonna do this kind of stuff, but there's been zero kind of response, at least visibly. They're, basically told everyone to stay inside. But as I said, even, every 10, 20, 30 minutes, you hear another explosion, another car. There's grocery stores, Oxos are being lit on fire. There's some of our Anarchapulco friends who are staying down in the Zona Romantica and the hotel zone. And there's even more kind of fires here. I'm in more of a little bit of a residential area, so I'm seeing it, a few blocks away. But so people are worried about needing to get their belongings and get out of hotels if the hotel starts on fire. If a building you're seeing there, yeah, cars are being lit on fire next to buildings, and those buildings catch on fire, then so I've been in touch with a few people here from the conference who are, they were checking out today and going to the airport to go home or go wherever. And you can't even get, like an Uber or something like that. It's just there's nobody driving on the roads right now. So
Well, and
that's
I
my
want to kind of
impressions, my eyewitness account from now. I'm sure you've got a lot of other stories, but
yeah,
No,
no.
this is the
So
main one, Barbie. Sorry, one quick. So
yeah.
we have a guest by the name of Dee that's up on stage, and then someone named Parl was trying to join. I don't know what's going on. You guys, I hear you coming through. We'll get you up. Barbie is taking the reins on this since this is her local area. You guys, thank you for joining. If you have any information coming out, throw it in the comments. We will get it pinned up. You guys follow all these people, whatever platforms you're on, and make sure that people know where to find you. And so you said pretty much everything is shut down. So just to give a little understanding, did anyone know, was this part of an operation to try to clean things up? Can we get a little clarity for the viewers? And we know that there's some things going on with negotiation, diplomatic relations with the United States. Does the United States have anything to do with this? So you guys take it away, and I'm going to get people up on the stage. You guys, if we can't get you up on the stage, Dee, you want to unmute and let us know that you can hear us and you can hear us? You can hear us and we can hear you? Hello? Hello? Let me play my thing. I have to, you guys. I mean, this is a terrible time, but we're just gonna.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear me? Dee,
Yeah,
why don't you
hear
take
you.
a lap? I'm gonna let Barbie, Dave, you guys take it away. And as soon as I hear you come in, I will absolutely get you back up on stage. You guys, thanks for Barbie, thank you for giving me this opportunity to live stream this for y'all and
Of
get
course.
awareness out there, because there's no better way to hear about what's going on somewhere unless it's boots on the ground from somebody. So
Well,
thank you for this.
and I want to say something to what Dave said, and I was just discussing this with someone else. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I refer to these, you know, these people. I'm not glorifying them or anything, but the reality is they are somewhat of an alternative government here, and they do kind of, you know, it keeps the balance. I wouldn't say necessarily the peace, like you
I don't
said,
know
but
if
when
anyone
that,
else has an issue. I'm not hearing you at all,
can you
Barbie.
hear
Maybe
me?
it's just me. If
Regina,
someone
can
in
you hear me?
chat can say
I can
they
hear
can hear you or see
Barbie.
you.
I think it's you, Dave. Barbie, you're good. Your sound is good. We can hear you, Dave. Check your settings. Make sure you're not.
Yeah. Can you hear Regina? No?
He can't hear either one of us. He'll come back. He'll come back. Keep going though. So we've got a
Yeah,
couple
so
of comments. One says, "This is insane. My girlfriend is there on a girls' trip, and now everyone's trapped in their apartments. Give them some hope, Barbie. Let them know what's going on."
yeah. So I mean, really at the end of the day, like he said, like there is a piece here, there are pieces here that people don't realize when you live in this country. It is somewhat of a alternative government. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a good or bad thing. Like obviously we know that there's evil things that happen there, but there's definitely a balance. And so when that balance is upset, the chaos definitely ensues. And we're seeing that happen right now. Like Dave mentioned, there's rumors that either one of the Jalisco cartel bosses was either arrested or murdered last night. That hasn't been confirmed on either side. But what I do know is that the cartels are demanding currently that that member is either released if he is being held. Okay, so you're shaking your head over here.
Oh,
Jump in. Tell me, I'm here. We're like up to date. Everyone's getting the
Yep.
info simultaneously right now.
No, he
Just
got
jump
shot.
in.
He got shot this morning, so it's kind of a retaliation that's going on. And I live in Vallarta for well over 4 years now, and I've never seen anything like this. Obviously, it's probably been one of the safest cities to live in Mexico until now. Now I think we're gonna get two things are happening. I think we're going to have a major power struggle, between various cartels, because the new Jalisco Generation cartel was kind of the leading dominant cartel in Mexico, from what I understand, after Chapo got killed or arrested, and now they took out pretty much the biggest cartel leader in Mexico. So this is not going away by any means. I don't think this is just kind of a start of what we could see happening, and it's spreading across a lot of different states in Mexico.
Yes, I'm here in Guadalajara, Guerrero right now. Things are happening simultaneously as we talk. I'm here in Mexico City.
Okay.
There's nothing happening so far that I can see online here, but you know, the president is here, so I'm wondering if there's going to be messages sent here as well.
My suspicion is, you're going to have a power struggle now because the biggest cartel leader's gotten taken down. This is going to spread throughout Mexico, I would assume. But you also have it now between the state and the cartel. So I kind of have been warning about something like this for a few months, ever since Donald Trump's been talking about dealing with the cartels in Mexico. And wow, we're living it right now, right after the conference at Acapulco.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
it's wild. I'm seeing, in like Dave mentioned, we're not seeing any of the Marines, we're not seeing any, we usually have military. Even here in Mexico, you have military everywhere. You've got so much stuff that happens and goes on a day-to-day basis that you just, it's kind of weird. Moving from Canada, one of the weirdest things that I've subconsciously gotten very used to was just seeing, semi-automatic rifles on a a day-to-day police officer just becomes part of your day, just seeing these people run around. So for you guys not to be seeing that at all in a major war zone right now is, I dare to say, telling, right? Like, it's, what do they do? How do they get involved? And then it really goes down to, like, who are these people in the military? This is why I prefer to call the cartel the alternative government, but it's very telling.
Sorry for laughing at that. But, sometimes Well, when we think about the United States, I don't know if any of y'all are in the United States. It seems like y'all are in Mexico, boots on the ground. Here, it started out that, the militia would take care of their own neighborhoods and stuff like that, or what's going on. These cartel situations, I don't know anything about that. That's why I'm letting you guys just go at it. But there's no really police presence or military presence at all. And how long has that been going on?
Since this morning up until now, you would see it daily everywhere. And I looked out my window. I live across the stadium in downtown Puerto Vallarta, or close to it. And I seen smoke, which was weird. I'm thinking maybe they're brush fires, they burned some of that. But then I seen it right down the road. And so I decided to take my phone with me, walk down there right on the 200, a few blocks away. And I see 5 or 6 cars lit up. And I knew, all right, there's something more going on here. Stayed out there for 5 minutes or so, took some video, and then I just walked back home. Spoke to a couple locals. They all said it was cartel related. Then I get back home and I start checking on what's going on, and yeah, found out that they did take out the head cartel leader. And there's an article about it that I was just reading about him and stuff, but yeah, his name's El Mencho.
You
But
said his name is El Mancho.
well, that's his cartel name. I think his real name is Nemesio or Segura Cervantes.
Cervantes. Let me go do some research, and while you guys are talking, I'll be trying to pull up some visuals and stuff for everybody. And you guys show what you want. I'm trying to don't let the layout distract you. There's a private chat to the far right if you need to communicate.
I'll send
Dave
you a
just
link that
dropped
I was
off.
reading.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Yep, here we go. I'll get it up on screen for you.
Yeah, so it's strange that when I noticed that, I was wondering, okay, these cars are on fire. I don't know why, but at that time I didn't know why. But where's the fire department? Like, you would think they would be out there putting them out, but then I'm seeing it all across the city from my balcony, and coming back home and realizing, okay, no one's going to do nothing, because the moment the fire department, or even if the police gets involved right now, it'll escalate things more. So I can understand the rationale of why they're not out there right now, because I mean, it's sad to see what's going on, obviously, but it does kind of make sense, because if the military was out there, then this could escalate a lot more. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but the cartels, from what I'm hearing in and around town right now, they've put Costco on fire, Oxos. And so they've already warned between 1 and 2 o'clock, stay off the streets. They're going to start firing people. Like they might take out lots of innocent victims walking around. So it's really just get off the street.
Get out of
So
the streets.
that's why they're not getting involved. That would make sense if that's a factor in it, to maybe possibly protect people from innocent lives from getting caught up in the crosshairs. So do you think that they're actively formulating any kind of plan? What do you guys think will happen? And how long do you think this will go on without seeing some form of military presence?
Tough to say. I've never seen anything like this. This is the first time we're seeing anything like this in Vallarta, and I've been here for over 4 years. The last one, when they took out El Chapo, they said this went on for 4 days. I don't know how long this goes on for. I mean, it's going to create a big power vacuum in the cartel industry in itself, because now you have the biggest cartel, and ironically, one of the most safest cartels. They really never touched the tourism industry. They never, here in Vallarta and Puerto Vallarta and Jalisco, even if you were a business owner, they never really shook down business owners for their cartel business tax. It wasn't a thing. This was a protected area. And I suspect it's because a lot of the cartel leaders and money was invested in Vallarta to keep it safe. This was pretty much one of the safest cities you could be in all of Mexico. And now it's tough to say how this is all going to get shaken down.
So what is the relationship like with President Bukele, with forgive me, I'm drawing a blank here, but with those states like that, and have you heard if anything, I'm going to be researching as you guys are giving the real-time news and what you guys think might happen or what you've heard, and then I'm going to be looking stateside, if you guys have heard anything stateside, to see if our administration has made any remarks or anything about this. Barbie was like, we've got to do a live stream. This is going on right now, and I'm always concerned about what's going on. So thank you guys for, jumping on here and making people aware of what's actually going on. So Puerto Vallarta was a safe place, even though, there's tale that there's a lot of heavy cartel areas. So, we're finding out from these people who actually live there what's actually going on. So you guys keep going. I'm going to find out what I can. You guys keep the comments pouring in. We will get them pinned. Ask these people questions. And thank you for coming on. You guys.
Well, as someone that does a fair amount of traveling, I've been a kind of a digital nomad for a good 5 years. I spent a lot of time in Europe, several months a year down here in Mexico, and you see governance of all types. And I am an American citizen. I do spend a few months a year there, and I consider myself. I mean, hey, I'm here at Acapulco, right? Kind of tuned in to some of the narratives that maybe the mainstream or you're not going to see necessarily on the news, but we've all seen Trump for months now, hinting that he wants to send the military into Mexico to deal directly with the cartels. And it's like, I feel like I'm kind of tuned in to certain like potential psyop kind of events. I don't think this is it. This does feel very organic. It feels very real. I mean, obviously it is really happening. There's cars exploding around me and buildings on fire, but it feels like a genuine, organic kind of reaction from the cartel against this. But it does
So
make you think if Scheinbaum or the government of Mexico does have this relatively cozy relationship with the Jalisco cartel, and the money is safe, and this is a very tranquil, kind of peaceful part of Mexico when it comes to not having the cartel violence, it was part of the calculus to take this guy in and inevitably to kill him, to generate the kind of pushback that they knew they would get from the cartel, which it'll be interesting to see in the next 24 to 48 hours what the response from Trump and the U.S. administration will be. Will this be used as a pretext to escalate here, like we just saw escalation in Venezuela, like we see that they're attempting to escalate in Iran? That might be an interesting thing to follow. I wouldn't be
I think
surprised.
so. If I could just jump in here for a
Yeah,
second.
please.
Yeah, you piqued my interest when you said about the PSYOP thing, because there are people out there who will say that, this didn't really happen. They're just trying to pull us in, get government dollars. There are people that do say things like this. I firmly believe this has happened simply because I had no plans on reporting on any of this. I didn't even know what was going on. And then Barbie was like, oh my gosh, all this is happening right in our own backyards. And definitely we want to highlight the people that are living there and that know what's going on. So if you're interested, I did kind of pull up something to see. We do have travel bans. It looks like, let me show you what I'm looking at here, just to kind of let you know what's going on in the States as far as, and I agree with you. I think that there was a pretty, I don't think there was a bad relationship. There's been some back and forth with Scheinbaum and Trump and all of that. But right here, there's been an official government response related to the situation around Puerto Vallarta and Jalisco, though not a direct military intervention. Here's what we know of right now. So there's the U.S. travel advisory ban, and then there was a commenter that said that, hey, we've got some girlfriends over there. We're worried about them. So now they're stuck because of the travel ban, which means they wouldn't be able to come back, right, until that's lifted. Am I correct in that assessment?
Well, I think they've already shut the airport down. So
Yeah,
and there's a lot of speakers that were here from the conference. They're trapped in their hotels and stuff. I mean, no one's really going out anywhere. I mean,
Right. So that's
than the
that's
that I've ever seen from Vallarta. In a way.
Oh, I know. So right now, the State Department also, and this is in the United States, has also in the past updated advisories. So we know that blah, 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 blah. So security alerts for Americans. amid today's unrest. So if you're there locally and you're not unable to leave, consular powers like the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City and consulates in Guadalajara have previously issued safety alerts for United States. I'm not really seeing anything of substance, broader U.S. actions. The U.S. has also taken legal and financial actions against cartel elements and their networks. So we know that Trump just did the global 15%. So I don't know anything about how all of that works. So if you guys know, just keep the show going, tell people what's going on. And that's what we know so far.
3 days ago, if you look this up, you'll see on the X account for the U.S. Treasury, they made an announcement 3 days ago that they shut down a major a cartel related like fraudulent timeshare operation. And kind of the timeshare industry is rife with fraud. People kind of know that down here.
So the Treasury Department?
Yeah, if you look up the U.S. Treasury's X account, you'll see 3 days ago there was an announcement that they shut down some major PV cartel money laundering operation through not money laundering, sorry, fraud operation through the timeshare industry down here. So I don't know if that was like a precursor, a shot across the bow, and then the Mexican government, yesterday arrested the guy / killed him this morning. And if this was all part of a larger operation that might have started there, trying to goad the cartel into a response like this, in order to, we'll see, take the next step. The Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution, right?
Well, I think this has been going on for a while. Like, I don't know what her connection is to the cartel. Obviously, a lot of people speculate with Claudia Scheinbaum. Is she just a puppet for the cartels or not? But I think she has been taking action over the last year, and had been arresting various cartel members. So, and I think Trump has even said she's just probably scared to take them on, which is why he's always suggested he would help if need be, and she's rejected it. Now, obviously she's got to save face in a way to the public or to the cartels themselves, because then it'd be an outright war. With the Treasury Department, you mentioning them cracking down on it. Well, they've been doing that for a while. Last summer, they took action against 3 major financial institutions. One, which was used by a lot of expats, so Intercam, which is now Capital Bank, CI Banco, and then another firm, which is kind of our stock brokerage firm. Everyone who had accounts with them had been shut down. So I think this has been going on in terms of the financial crackdown on the cartel money since the summer, and trying to find the trace of it all, and now it just continually is getting escalated. And he's been suggesting for months now that he would provide support or just come in and outright. This could be the precursor for them to allow it now. Like if things get really out of control, now this is pure speculation, but if things get really out of control, you never know. You might see the Mexican government say, all right, Americans, come on in and bring your military and take care of this. It'll be a lot.
I hope it doesn't come to that. I would like to definitely see all of us be friends. I do agree with you. Scheinbaum is in a tough situation, and I'm not sure, I don't even know very much about her predecessor or whatever, but I know that Trump is always, they've went back and forth, but it seems that they have, they agree when they agree on something. And then when they don't agree on something, they say, well, I don't think that'll be good for my country. And they go back and forth. So I haven't seen really any strong, so I am hopeful, and I'm so grateful that all of you, the comments are pouring in. You guys, I'm going to remove myself from the stage. You guys keep this going, and if you need me to throw up visuals, just let me know.
Yeah, one of the things I just wanted to point out is, like, also as someone, and I'm sure, I'm sorry to the gentleman in the blue shirt here. I didn't get your name. My apologies. I met Dave. Who are you?
Me?
What's your name again? Yes.
Yes, sir. Forgive us.
What is it?
Oh, you're Mr. Porl. You're the one that I couldn't get up on the stage at first. Is it PORL? Is that what you said?
No.
My bad.
Okay, so
yeah, my name is Vin Maru.
Tell everybody
He's
who
in
you
here.
are and where to find you. Yes, thank you. I forgot to. I was so rude. I should have asked you. I
He's
didn't even
like,
ask
not
your
here.
name.
I'm trying to tell everyone where to find me right now.
Well, I'm here in Vallarta, but I actually met Jeff 15 years ago in Acapulco, and I was living there in the winter. And him, the dollar vigilante wasn't even a thing at the time, and we just connected. We were friends. We had the same ideology. I was a precious metals analyst, still am, and we kept talking about the financial system, fiat currencies, and all that. And I actually started writing for Jeff, doing a newsletter with him in the initial days, and then I moved on. But I've been living here for 4 years now in Vallarta, and I have my own website with my own YouTube channel called Financial Liberties, and then I also started one called Seeking Liberties in Mexico, where I do Mexico finance, economy, business opportunity coverage, and I've been touting how great it is to be in Mexico, all the opportunities up until probably today.
It'll
I
be
think
interesting to see how this, if this continues for more than a few hours here today, how that'll affect. We saw like in Cancun when there was a couple shootings years ago, that really affected the tourism there. And this is
yeah.
why I continue to think, like I said, the cartel doesn't mess with you if you don't mess with their money. Obviously, killing their leader is messing with their money, but there's so many businesses here, half the pharmacies, a bunch of the smaller businesses, they're just cash cows for the cartel. And if you cut off PV is a huge for Canadians especially, but also a lot of Americans, they spend half the year here or they come down for vacations. It's if you scare those people, that definitely hurts the cartel probably more than the Mexican government in terms of the inflows of cash. So it's an interesting kind of game theoretical thing that's going on right now. How long can they keep this up without shooting themselves in the foot?
Well, I did want to backtrack to give me your name one more time, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm horrible. I usually am better with this. Mr. Vin Maru, right?
Sure.
So, you guys, there's a private chat. If you drop your handles where your thank you, where your YouTube channels and stuff when you're ready, I will let people know where to find you. I definitely, it is, because, they are about business. If we're talking about cartels, and I mean, it's got to be a business mind model. I'm not sure that, you see a lot of people going in and out through tech issues and stuff like that. Here they come back. Here they come back. Dave will be back. Here's Dave. I love it, you guys. All right. So, you guys keep the conversation going. I'm going to keep bringing you back up.
I just want to say oh fuck. I'm just getting this in. Cancun is now under attack as well. So attacks,
What?
bombs are going
This
off in
is
Cancun right now.
coordinated.
Well,
This is
I think
this
it's
is
Hold on.
I'm just
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm
Vin.
just
Barbie, go ahead. Barbie, go
oh
ahead.
so I'm as someone like Mr. Vin said, like I've lived here for the last 5 years myself, and Dave was mentioning, like, if you don't play around, you're fine. I lived as a single woman walking around at all hours of the night and day in Playa del Carmen. I've never had any serious, issues happen to me. I've never had anything horrible. You're right. The only horrible shootings or anything that happens is like, oh, you kind of know, you find out the backstory. It's a small town. You find out the backstory. Someone was doing something they weren't supposed to. And that's always the situation. And when I say always, it's pretty much always when it comes down to the gringos. My biggest concern right now is honestly just that if U.S. troops are sent in here, what is that going to, or how will that affect us gringos that already live here? There's already been a lot of hate towards us being here. There's a lot of propaganda that we're, driving the price and the economy up. So a lot of people who don't understand how economy and inflation work in general. But regardless, that's a very massive consensus here. And there is already things that are happening. So for me, I'm like, if they send in the troops, right now, I don't think this is about gringos.
Let me put your mind at ease for everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
It is never, ever, under any circumstances, ever, never a good thing when troops have to be set in from their own soil to another land soil, whether they're allies, foes, whatever. We are always trying to de-escalate situations. But if our friends from Mexico, Scheinbaum says, hey, we need your help over here, I believe the United States doesn't really go in guns blazing. We're going to take this. It's just if a business is being ran and it's being run poorly and they're asking for help, and it can help everyone. But I fully agree with you. I think that at all costs we should avoid that. So, and yes, it does give gringos a bad name. It happened in Cuba with the history of Cuba way back in the JFK era, that they went, bought up a bunch of land, took their, basically, that's what I fear, is that, we can't be selling our land away, and they shouldn't either. Let me bring Mr. Vin back up. He's back with us. All right, you guys, I'm going to jump off the stage.
Yeah, actually, ironically, it was a call from someone who I know is kind of connected, and he just gave me a warning saying, don't go outside right now. They're going to start shooting random people at this point, which was the warning I heard that's going on. So yeah,
what do you think Mr. Vin, what do you think let's pull back here. Yes, we see the inciting incident, why this kicked off today. But what's the goal at this point? I've heard that they want the release of the son. And I know setting these fires and things kind of, creates a little bit of a spectacle. But how does starting to shoot, innocent people further that? And does that make you think there's something more coordinated going on? Is this an open invitation to give the Trump administration or Scheinbaum the excuse she needs to say, okay, fine, come in and help us? Or, do you feel like this is coordinated on a much higher level and these are just the beginning machinations of that?
Well, here's the irony of it, and I can't verify this, but there was speculation that this cartel, the new Jalisco cartel, Generation Cartel, was actually in beds with the CIA or something like that. So now you got to question whether there's a connection there between the CIA and this cartel,
Right.
or and how that all plays out, like another false flag to kind of start something. I really don't know. Obviously, it got triggered with taking out the leader of the cartel, and this all started. How this plays out and goes from here is really going to be tough to say, but I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. And now we're hearing rumors of them taking out the infrastructure, like they're probably going to take down the power grid lines in and around the city.
What? So y'all are going to be without power? So here's my first question.
We're hearing, yeah.
Yeah, my first question was, I heard Dave say, I didn't even know this factor of it. So they're trying to do a hostage negotiation. Someone's been arrested or detained or something. Someone's locked up. Is that what all this is about?
This is part of what we're hearing. And again, who knows how true? We don't even know. Maybe the leader's not really dead. Maybe this is part of the psyop too, but that his son was taken into custody in this action this morning or late last night. And that part of what I'm hearing here on the streets from my local friends who live here is that this is the cartel basically saying, at least release the son. And this is, at least the justification to the public why this is happening. There have been other people that have been, already impacted, though. People trying to drive their cars, getting their cars basically hijacked. A woman attendee here at Anarchapulco had her luggage in the back of a car, and they were going out of town this morning to go to a local kind of tourist spot. Got the car hijacked, pulled out, and car set on fire. She lost her passport. There were some other attendees that were supposed to make their way to the convention center for today's Crypto Vigilante conference, and their taxi driver was actually pulled out. And again, I can't verify, but this is what I heard directly from someone at the convention center. The taxi driver was shot, and the people were able to run away and make it to the convention center, and they are obviously very rattled. So, I'm trying to figure out what the end goal is here and why these actions. Also, we got to figure that, if this cartel has been operating in relative, public peace for this long, the Mexican government doesn't just take him out like this without a very they know what the reaction is going to be. And so what is the second and third order effects that they are planning on here? That you don't, why now? You don't just, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Mr. Vin? And then Barbie, you go after that because I definitely want to hear. I mean, that sounds somewhat plausible. I mean,
I'm getting
this is what I
crazy
got.
updates
Barbie
right left
said,
and center over here. I'm click clacking. The messages are
okay,
flying in right now from everywhere.
yes.
I might have Lisa Mota coming on. I'm just waiting for her to get back to me, but she's at the border in the U.S. Mexico border right now, and she was saying, I have to go back. Hold on one second here. She said that the police from the Distrito Federal, Mexico City, are here at the border of Mexico and the U.S., which is interesting. So she's going there right now to find out more details. She might be hopping in the live stream to give us an
All
update
right.
from the
So
actual.
while you're doing that and working on that, and we're all doing that, let's take a moment to introduce everybody properly. Mr. Vin, I'm going to show everybody your YouTube channel, where to find you on the X platform. Dave, if you put in the private chat your links and stuff, I will get your stuff up as well. I always like people to know because they're going to want follow-ups on this stuff, right? I live in West Virginia, United States. So when Barbie said, "Hey, this is going on in my area. We've got boots on the ground. This needs to be, people need to know about this." And usually I'm on it like doggone it with stuff. Things are coming across my feed. So, Mr. Vin, we'll start with you. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. I've got your YouTube channel. I'm going to pull everybody else up on stage and bring you up as you introduce yourself. So, you guys, we are taking a brief moment to get to know everybody. Mr. Vin, Dave, Barbie, thank you all for this opportunity, really, to be able to bring more awareness from not having to get it from mainstream media or believe what we're told. We have people that are actually living there and can give us assessments of what they believe is going around truly in the area. So let's start with you, Mr. Vin. I'm going to pull Barbie down because she's clickety clacking away. And then Mr. Dave, hang tight. Oh, he pulled himself down. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Vin. And I've got your YouTube as you're talking.
Sure. So my name is Vin Maru, and I've been following financial markets for a long time. I happened to meet Jeff Berwick in 2010 in Acapulco, just a random meeting. And we became friends because we had the same ideologies of central banking, fiat currency, Federal Reserve. And we were both into the precious metals. I was a mining analyst as well. And, leaving Acapulco, I was talking to Jeff and saying like he should do something concerning his connections that he had and what he'd been talking about. And he started the Dollar Vigilante. And I think I joined him about a year later after I met him at a conference in Canada. And I started writing with Jeff about precious metals mostly. And but the timing was a bit wrong because we were at the top of that bull market. I even kind of said it was. So
Okay.
and I find trends early and I just do investment options. But I moved here 4 years ago. And now I live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and I've been doing coverage on the economy, finance, business opportunities, banking, all that sort of thing. So the two YouTube channels, kind of one's Mexico focused, one's
That's what I was just about to ask you. I said, tell them a little bit. We've got the YouTube channel up on the screen. So this does have to do with what you were talking about, seeking liberties in Mexico. We help you navigate Mexico's dynamic and challenging financial landscape. You guys, make sure you go check this gentleman out. And you said you had another YouTube channel. You want to pop that in? I'll get that in the banner and stuff.
Right above it, Financial Liberties. I can recall.
I'm terrible at doing this. I was trying to get the layouts on time, and I'm always terrible at doing this. So the next person we have on deck, Mr. Vin, thank you for joining. You guys go check him out on YouTube. We're going to pull that down, and then we're going to bring up Mr. Dave, and I'll get his information. You guys be patient with me as I'm doing this stuff. Forgive me. And where did Dave go? Dave left. Okay, Barbie, you're next.
I'm next.
There's no wait. Dave just came back in, but I can't find him. There he is. Okay, Dave, you're next. Barbie, you're gonna have to wait. Sorry.
Sorry, guys. I think there's I don't know if it's a Wi-Fi thing or what, but I keep losing audio. I got to reconnect. So, can you guys hear me okay now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All
Can
right,
you hear me?
Good. Yeah, I don't have a channel to promote. I dropped my X channel. It's x.com/.
Yep.
Hollywood_Dave. I've worked in privacy tech. I'm an investor and advisor in the decentralized finance and Web3 space. I used to work at a major crypto exchange, and the past few years I've been traveling. I've been talking on decentralized finance and self-sovereignty at a lot of freedom conferences. Before this, Barbie, you and I actually just met at Monerotopia last week. And then before that, I was at the People's Reset in Morelia here in Anarchapulco doing a talk called How to Defy the Banksters with DeFi, Decentralized Finance, basically showing people how they don't any longer need banks or other trusted intermediaries to borrow, lend, play futures, invest in stocks. They can do everything on their own, on chain, and in a true sovereign way. So, of course, very aligned with what Jeff Berwick has been talking about for years. And this is my first year actually here at Anarchapulco. They invited me to come speak on this, and which is kind of interesting. I'm supposed to be on stage in about an hour, and I'm going to try to switch over to a virtual talk here for the Crypto Vigilante Summit, but we'll see if that actually happens.
Well, thank you for coming up. Okay, Barbie. Barbie needs no introduction. Everybody on my follower, I've already let y'all know who she is. So I mean, the title's too long, so we just had to, condense it down to business manager because she's like brand development, like she does everything for me. And we have another person on the team, so I'm highly honored to introduce the Bitcoin Barbie. She is no nonsense, and literally she knows I'm interested in stuff like this. She knows I care about her, and she was like, let's get these people together and let's find out what's going on. I said, let's do it. So Barbie, tell them about yourself. They already know where to find you. I'll have that stuff, and then I want you guys to continue this conversation. We know that Dave has to go in a little bit, so anybody who wants to come through, I'll make sure I filter you through. You probably won't see me too much. I'm trying to get the layouts right, so just look at me as a silent producer. You guys take it away.
No, love it. Yeah, I did. I mentioned I was getting the updates this morning, and I was like, Regina, we need to get on right now. Like, everyone quickly go paint your faces. Let's go. We got to get on this thing. But yeah, it was, this is, as we're hearing that even Cancun is being attacked. I mean, again, as someone who lives here full time, I'm not just a snowbird. I do live here full time. I'm a permanent resident. I've been here, much like yourselves, 5 years. This is very concerning. I'm here in Mexico City, so as of now, I'm not seeing anything in my groups or anything like that that's coming up, but I am seeing that Cancun just had their first car bomb go off, or their first explosion go off. This is just, for yourselves who are regulars here, do you think this affects, like, I know for myself, I'm constantly defending Mexico, like everything's all good, like it's all chill. This does not help my argument ever at all. This is not going to go well for future conversations, at least for the next little bit. But how do you guys feel like about this? Does this skew how you guys would want to operate here? Does this skew your care to like actually stay? I know you said, Mr. V, you're here full time, yeah? Does this make you feel like maybe it's time to like go?
Ooh, tough question. At the moment, I'm going to say no, but obviously, this is actually a pretty big deal. It's not just like some, random cartel, small cartel. We're talking the biggest cartel leader.
Yeah.
So this creates a major power vacuum, which is why you're starting to see things in other states, as well as Cancun. So at this point, I'm not ruling anything out. This is Mexico, man. I mean, this could blow up into something much bigger than we all are expecting or hoping.
We're in the early hours of this right now. Who knows what's going to happen? It could end out by the end of today, or it could be a months-long cartel war. It could be a massive battle. That's why I said I got to hop up. I need all the information right now. Like, this is boots on ground, even if I'm not necessarily in Jalisco right now. A lot of that stuff. I mean, I live in the DFA, like, it's we're the capital here, and that all that kind of stuff trickles down here. So curious to see what's going to happen if we're going to, I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to go to the bank today. I had a few errands to run, and guess I'll just sit my ass down here.
Well, to be a sovereign individual, it's obviously not relying on any government to take care of you, to be able to ideally grow some of your own food, or have, know some farmers that you can give them some silver when the lights go out and you can still eat or feed your family. There's this concept of jurisdictional arbitrage. So having multiple residencies, multiple citizenships, because we don't know where the next, real or psyop major life disturbing event's going to come from. I spend a lot of time in Central Europe. I like that even though those are EU countries, they are far enough away from the West and a lot of the more overt, like online censorship and authoritarianism you see Orban in Hungary, or in Slovakia, or now in the Czech Republic. Often them pushing it back against a lot of the unchecked migration, or the requirement to basically dox everything you do online or censor everything in the name of whatever the latest political definition of hate speech is, which just always seems to be anyone criticizing what the government is doing is hate speech. And so, yeah, this gives me pause. I was already spending half my time in Eastern Europe and about a quarter of the time here in Mexico, and thinking, oh, by the way, I'm seeing military for the first time.
Okay.
I just saw 2
No.
pickup trucks go by, green, with about 6 soldiers in each. That's the first time I've seen any police or military presence in
So,
4 hours here.
and I heard I'm again, because I'm on my Twitter feed right now. I'm in the Telegram groups. Everything's getting sent to me here, so I'm trying to keep up. And but I heard on the I think it's the north side of Puerto Vallarta right now that that basically people are just chilling at the beach and everything's okay over there. But as Mr. V here mentioned, might be time to pack up your towels and umbrellas and ring her in. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I mean, in regards to us seeing the military on road now, what does that lead to? Is that where are we going with that? Like, this is the problem, right? It's like part of us want the government to step in, but is that going to create an even more forceful situation? Are we going to see an escalation with all of that?
Well, this is why I kind of believe I've been hearing friends messaging me saying, stay indoors, don't go out, because yeah, and like David mentioned, he's starting to see the military, and I'm surprised I haven't seen any up until now. No
That was
cops.
the very first one. Yeah, I've been sitting out here for 4 hours. Yep.
So I mean, if they do start to, take back some of the streets or stop the car bombings, if there's a clash, there's going to be people in the crossfires. I mean, it could happen. So and whether the cartel is deliberately going to try to, shoot at people that are just randomly walking around, I don't think that was their intention. But again, they've been going after cars, innocent taxi drivers. So who knows? Like, it's kind of a weird scenario.
Do you think it's possible that maybe, like, just with any organization, you've always got the ones that are rogue or ones that are seeking power? Could that be, if we were to compare it to like a CEO or a company, like an insurance company, or not even just a regular business, and there is that fight for power. So do you think it's more people getting caught up in the crosshairs? You guys said that you had never really seen activity like this in these areas. So what do you think the main thing is that's contributing to what's happening now? And no one had any idea that there was no sign of escalation of any of this activity before this happened?
No, I think it's coordinated on their end. It has to be. I mean, this is not just one random little location here in Vallarta. It's been going all around Vallarta, up in Nueve Vallarta, and now we're hearing across different regions of Mexico. So, I think it's a power struggle, I think, was what's going to happen, because you get the biggest head of the biggest cartel, and it was probably one of the safest cartels, ironically, that got taken down.
Right.
I want to give you guys a quick update here. I'm getting news from again, I lived in Playa for a really long time, and a girlfriend of mine just let me know that her regular driver in Playa told me that it's all starting in Playa and Tulum right now. So Quintana Roo has now officially started announcing
Where did it originally start? Where was the first place it happened?
Jalisco.
Do you know?
Jalisco was
Jalisco.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started at Jalisco.
But it happened all
crimes.
over. As Mr. V said, you know, it was here as Nayarit, which is just north of here. It was the roads originally in and out of PV, but then also Guanajuato, which isn't, you know, it's a couple hours away, also in Jalisco, which is a smaller town, in Guadalajara, which is a larger town here. But it was confined to Jalisco. And the nature of it was basically lighting cars on fire, blocking roads, and the goal seemed to be, the initial ask was, release the son that you also have in custody here. And
Yep.
so if it's starting up in other major cities nowhere near Jalisco, then that begs the question, what's the point of that? Why would a cartel on the on the Gulf of Mexico / America, why would they suddenly start blocking roads and lighting cars on fire? What goal does that serve? Because their demand would unlikely, unless there's now an alliance between rival cartels over something like this, that we haven't heard any demands, I guess, from the cartel other than rumors we've heard locally on the streets. So I'm really confused why we'd have action in other states from other cartels. If they
Okay.
wanted to move into a
We're-
power vacuum here and take over, they would be coming here. They wouldn't be lighting cars on fire in the streets of their own neighborhoods. That doesn't.
So
Yes,
yeah,
it
let
is
let
looking more and more like a
let's talk.
CIA or some sort of coordinated attack to make the appearance that would give the U.S.
Maybe that's the
the
psyop.
green.
Maybe that's the psyop. You're
Well,
right. This is the
let's
inciting incident. And yeah, go ahead.
let's take a brief pause. So I did want to get to the emails that you sent me. We started out in the beginning of the broadcast. There's been new people that came in. So do you have a problem with us reading some of the texts and information that you got on that? So I believe Mr. Vin and Dave both came in when we had pictures of what was going on. I thought I was sharing the screen, but I guess I'm not. Y'all, I am sharing the screen. Where is it? It's right here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the first one I got was these are the pictures, you guys, but it looks like there's a voice recording. I'm just gonna, because it's a screenshot, I'm just gonna read it. So the cartels, oh Lord, here we go with this. Okay, so you guys can't see it, but I'm just going to read it to you. I knew I should have downloaded it, but I didn't. Apparently, they bombed in Oxo as well. They pulled everyone off a bus and then set fire to it. This is the cartel. Apparently, the police arrested. So this is what you were talking about, Dave. Apparently, the police arrested one of their cartel members last night, and they are burning the city until they get him back. Who is this person? First, I want to know. I don't know what's going on, but I'm in a 5-star resort, so we're not allowed to leave. I was due to check out tomorrow, and I actually booked a fucking Airbnb downtown starting from tomorrow for the rest of the week. I'm going to cancel that. I'm getting out of here, but the airport's closed. So now we know that we have the travel ban, so nobody can leave, nobody can go. The city's on high alert, and I think there's even a red alert. They're apparently going to turn off the power in 30 minutes. Did you guys hear this?
Oh, great. No.
And when did you
That
send
was
this?
about an hour or so ago that message was sent to me. So if they haven't turned off the power yet, I mean, it could be inevitable. It could be coming, but that
So
was
the rest
something
of
that was
it,
told.
yeah, the rest of
Yeah.
it. So I don't know what's up with that. So thankfully, everybody still has power. We'll pray over that. Like it's the last day of. Does anybody know how to pronounce that? Anarchapulco.
Acapulco.
Narcopoco. That's right. That's right.
That's a good one. But yeah, it's all very strange. Like it's the last day of Anarchapulco, like the official conference was until Friday. But then they added 2 extra days for the dollar vigilantes. Oh wow! So is this what you were talking about, the psyop thing? Maybe I don't know.
No,
If
I
there,
just think that if there is a potential psyop, it is that the Mexican government either took in or killed this guy, knowing that there'd be a particular a violent reaction, and that possibly, and we'll find out in the next 24 to 48 hours, if that is something that the U.S. then uses to say, well, we got to go in, you know, and in which case you got to wonder if that was the whole reason, you know, problem, reaction, solution. You create the problem to get
I'm
the
not sure I would.
reaction, and then
I'm
you
not
go
sure
in
I
with
would
the
call that a
solution.
psyop. I would call that reasoning, like trying to get people, like that's negotiation. But hey, we'll call it a psyop. I'm cool with that because I believe they do shit like that. I
Yeah.
mean, like, look, if you come and you know, Shine Bomb, she's got to appear that she's got her. I mean, she does have her best, her country's best interest at heart, I would believe. But with knowing all the things, if there's peace, why poke the hornet's nest. But if I was a leader of a country, I wouldn't be opposed to secretly be talking and saying, now do I think any of this? This is all crazy to me. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this ever.
Well,
So thank you.
psychological operation, just in the truest sense of provoking the psychological reaction in the public here to say, oh my God, we're in danger, we need help, and then to have the
Yep.
help come that had this event not happened today and the US just showed up with a bunch of military stuff, they might have said, why are you here? What are you doing? Invading the sovereignty. But
Right.
now no one's gonna mind as much of, okay, they're coming to help clean up this problem. We were invited in, kind of a thing.
So let's rewind and talk about the arrest, right? Have we gotten any information on this arrest? Do we know that it's factually this person is in custody? This is the real, so nobody knows. So like you were saying, I understand what you're saying now, Dave. I was a little confused there for a minute, but now it makes perfect sense. So you guys, this is to the viewers. If you guys have any information, you're living locally, anything about who this person is, what sparked this off, let us know from stateside to Mexico to wherever you are. All right, Barbie, take it away.
Yeah, no, I think like there's so many things. Like, we're still in the early hours, right? We're all playing guessing games. There's only so much we can
Right.
know. Some of it is rumors, some of it is fact, right? Like, do we know if Mencho was actually put into custody? Was he killed? Was he put into custody and then killed?
Right.
At the end of the day, we also know that, like, the police and all of that. I mean, we're not going to say
Wait,
all of them, but there is
wait.
corruption within the police.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
hold on. Wait. So the person that was apprehended, they are now saying that he's dead, or
Supposedly
So there's
the leader of the cartel was killed, supposedly after they took him into custody. And then his son, this is what we're hearing, was also apprehended. And that was the initial reason that the locals were hearing for these fires and preventing people from going on the roads. There's videos of cartel on like the small motorbikes throwing like spikes on the roads to prevent cars from leaving the town, is to say, you need to give him back, or we're just going to keep doing this. That's
yeah.
what we're hearing on the ground here.
All right, let's get to these comments. I got behind on the comments real quick.
Yeah,
If
let's
you want to
get
jump in, go ahead. So Nancy Guthrie, psyops, look here, not there. Who said that? I would grab a sandwich. Bring me a sandwich, please. Bring me a sandwich. All right, so we've got Tim Adams 6801. In the next few weeks and months, stay in the U.S. If a chance comes for people to get back to the U.S., do it. And I can't disagree with that. I don't think this would be a great time for me to go visit Barbie or try to get Barbie over here. I mean, she'd be go okay in the hollers, but I don't know. I'll go though. I'll go. Okay, so Joseph said the country.
Come on, Regina, boots on ground. Throw a set. Yeah.
She's gonna make me. I said I want no IRL events. She was like, "Well, tough. You hired me. You hired me for my thing." I was like, "Okay." So then, who are these freaks? I don't know who the freaks are either.
Probably us.
Cartels. Yeah, and probably us. Cartels are on the way out. Heads have already been taken. Just the ground members left. No leadership. We keep saying cut the head off the snake, but I think one is always going to grow back. It's just, can we deal with that head of the snake?
I think that's the problem, is that these people don't realize that these families, these communities are so ingrained in the culture, whether we like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not. You could cut the head of the snake off, but look what happened when you cut the head of the snake off.
Yep.
You incited 3 more heads to come and now those 3 heads are going to decide which head is going to be the dominant head. And that in its own is going to create chaos and you know what I mean, uncertainty for a while.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the other. I agree with the other comment. Like I was saying, for me, I'm a little concerned as someone who lives here full time. Is it time for me to maybe go take a little? Come on, right in the middle of winter, you guys want me to go home? What the hell?
Okay, guys. I did want to get to Unsense ID. This is coming from the Rumble platform. Thank you for watching from Rumble. I know we guys don't show you guys a lot of love over here. So this is our earlier question. So this is what someone's saying. From a post cartel retaliation, a big cartel boss got killed by the Mexican army. So that's what y'all are saying, but we still don't have definitive, unless you do, let us know. Reportedly, U.S. assistance was given to the operation that killed the boss. Oh, so now
there
we're
it is. Okay.
against Americans and me. So let's get to the next one because he gave us a lot of information here. So Unsense ID, I'm going to give you a follow and thank you for joining us on Rumble here. So Trump and U.S. forces acting in support of Mexican operations iced a cartel boss from CJNG. What is that? What is CJNG?
That's the local cartel here in Jalisco.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
So cartel retaliation,
Yeah.
unconfirmed reports, American tourists are being targeted to kill or capture as hostages. You guys, that is a red alert. If
I
you
haven't
are
seen
American,
that, but I mean, if that happens, it's a whole different ballgame. You're right.
but it's a
Yeah.
possibility. Is it not a possibility if
Well,
things are going
sure.
I
to
mean,
this?
if we're talking about a massive psyop, right, Regina? Like, if we're talking about a massive psyop where the U.S. is trying to come in, then I mean, let's be serious. We've all been
They
privy
said the
to.
cartels may have kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. I'm so sorry, Barbie, when you're saying that. You're absolutely right about what you're saying. Keep going. But you know, you are absolutely right. And then now
If-
they're dragging Nancy Guthrie.
They don't care. The one thing the U.S. government has shown us over and over again is they don't care to take out a couple civilians for the sake of a reasoning to make a greater war. We've seen this happen over and over and over again. We've seen innocent people be the catalyst for, for a bigger purpose, and so if we start seeing
9/11. Tower
well,
7.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but someone else
What?
wants to
9/11.
I'm
say
sorry.
it.
I
Yeah.
broke
Don't
up. I broke up
apologize.
for a second.
You took the words I was trying to avoid right out of
We
my mouth. I
believe
was
it.
trying to
We
put it
believe it.
nicely.
That's why
You
he
know, I'm
caught
not trying to
it.
get completely banned off life.
He-
I know you guys are full
He
full
caught
freedom
it.
I was just
fighters.
coughing.
I
I was
went,
just.
he went,
tell the line.
he went 9/11, 9/11.
Yeah.
But look, guys, look, this is the truth. We have to consider these things. If we're saying, oh no, I put all my faith in this could never be a possibility. And I'll remind everyone, these people live there. Like we live in the United States. I would think Barbie would call me and be like, hey, what the hell's going on over there? This is what we're seeing over here. Is this really happening? And sometimes it's not. Sometimes the media is telling you what they want you to hear.
Right.
And then you have to think about, is it logical? Well, yes, we always know that there's going to be people, innocents, caught in this, and it is a travesty. So, what do you think will be the solution? What do you think will happen through this? I want to hear some speculation, and I also want to hear what you'd like to ultimately see come from this. And then, in the meantime, we'll be pouring out. You guys, thank you for commenting. Sorry, look. They even gave me something to go by. I got to go check out this and what they pulled up. You guys might be interested in it, but keep it going. I know, Dave, you said you have another commitment,
Yeah,
but as long as you
I
can
was
say.
gonna say I need to go in a bit here, but I can say that it is important to at least call out that I mean that is great information that we got from Rumble, but I don't think any of us, Mr. V, tell me if you've heard something on the ground here. American tourists or tourists in general are not being held hostage. I have heard a report that a local taxi driver, supposedly connected to some kind of cartel, was shot, but the Americans that were supposedly in that car were able to leave. Some other American had her passport burned up in luggage that was in a car that got carjacked and set on fire, but they were, not kidnapped or killed. So far, we're not hearing confirmed reports that anybody, tourists or otherwise, are being kidnapped, held for hostage, or killed, except for a possible, a taxi driver or two, which is, of course, terrible if it's true. But that's a whole different ball game if we're doing hostages and executions. So far, none of that is coming to pass.
So, what would you like to see happen come ultimately, since you have to get out of here? Tell us what you would like to see happen for this to be resolved. I always say if a country can resolve their own issues, like if my county can resolve its own issues without having to involve the state, then that's absolutely the first thing we hope to do. So, tell us what you think will come of all of this, how long you think it will last, and what will the new regime look like if there is one? Do you think this is the end of cartels? Let us know.
No, I don't. And I think maybe it was Barbie that mentioned this, that This is just how business is done. Daily life is done here. These cartels are embedded in the communities. The police in Mexico City and in the major cities are the de facto controlling force. But when you get out farther away from those federal strongholds, the cartels are the one that run the city. You still have the post office or the place where you go to get your resident. You have the federal offices here, and you have the police driving around, but the keeping of the peace is the cartels. If you have, I know some business owners here, when there's a problem, they go to the cartel. It's almost like the Italian Godfather kind of thing. You just take care of it. You go to a guy, they resolve it in the community, and for that they take a little bit of money. So if the federal government really, this is the big problem. You can't just quote unquote take out the cartels, because you have to replace a de facto governance structure that operates on 3/4 of this country.
Why won't
It's
the
just
cartel go legit then? Are they legitimate
Well, here's the thing
businessmen?
is again, kind of going back to how I like to put it, is this is the alternative government. There's corruption here. There's corruption in all governments, but for me, what I've seen as someone who's lived here is that the C Squad, or the alternative government, as I like to call them, they offer that balance, right? So it's like the government itself, the legal government itself, can only take whatever they're doing to a certain extent before the alternative government comes in and says, hey, hold on, that's not going to happen. Whether it's affecting their businesses, their operations, however, it's generally about money, right? At the end of the day, I mean, even in country to country war, it's usually about resources and money. That's generally what war or feud, battle, whatever you want to call it, comes down to. So the biggest thing is that, like Dave said, like you're talking about, if you take out the cartels, which are a fundamental piece of this country, whether people like to admit it or not, whether they want to see the negative only or the positive sides of things, because there are both. Again, I see it as a kind of balance where they put the corruption from regular government, which we see in US, which we see in Canada and Europe. We see these corruptions happening within government all over the world. This is just a piece that happens to kind of keep this in line to a degree. And I'm not supporting them. I'm not saying it's good, but if there's only
So let me ask you this. Let's take a pause for a second. We're going to let Mr. Vin go too. So I agree with what you're saying. I totally agree. If a country has it, I think the problem that when they talk about the cartels, we got to get, because there is a what's the word I'm looking for? There's a certain amount of what's the word I'm looking for? The insinuation that goes with cartel, whatever, So when we think about that, I think the main thing is, if anything is bad, right? A cartel could be a cartel. They're known for this, that, but maybe they do some good things. Maybe they do have a legitimate business that they can't get legitimized. And we're dealing with that in West Virginia. When I tell you, with restaurants and stuff, it's crazy. So we do have governments that seem to be squeaky clean, but they're just thugs too. But I think the main concern for the United States is we don't want that trash in our country. We don't want that drugs, and we've already got stuff around here. And I think that's where he talks about with the cartels. But I think the cartels have been mainly, I haven't heard much about Mexico. It's been more like Cuba or Venezuela or which is it, the one President Bukele, where's he at?
El Salvador.
El Salvador. I can never remember that, right? So, I mean, it sounds like there is a give and take relationship, right? And the worst thing to do is involve the United States in this. I think the United States maybe gets involved when we're asked, or when it's like, hey, there's some stuff coming over here. But I do believe that there's government officials that have sold our land away, that get in, bed with bad people. I think it's everywhere. So what would you like to see, Mr. Vin? What do you think is going to happen with what's going on now? What would you like to see happen? And I'm with you. I think sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Well, I'm going to put a bit of the whole narration or talk around the cartels in context, because I've been here for a long time. I've known lots of people that know cartel members. I probably have spoken to cartel members, and you would never have known it. In fact, you have a likelihood of getting shaken down by the police here for money more than you do by the cartels in Vallarta.
Absolutely. Playa del Carmen, I've been shaken down by the police. I have. I will 100% stand that. I have definitely been harassed by the police more than any other regular person on the street here. 1000%. I will second that.
And the other thing to keep in mind is also the following. Now, we've heard for months now Donald Trump talking about putting boots on the ground and dealing with the cartels. And I've spoken to locals while in and around town, and they're actually all like, I'd like to see them try it, because the cartels they're everywhere here, and they don't, it's in a lot of ways people do respect them in a way. I mean, and it's because here in Vallarta, it's one of the safest regions of Mexico when it comes to cartels. They don't shake the average business person down like they do in Cancun and Playa del Carmen. And I've lived there in the past. Here, it's really been a safe zone. So here's my theory on why they took him down in particular. The New Jalisco cartel, they take the leader. This cartel, outside of every art cartel, if you're going to say a cartel doing something right, they were doing actually something right in Mexico, which was you don't mess with their trade. But other than that, they leave you alone. They made the safest tourist town here in Vallarta. Everyone who's been here will agree that this is.
I got CBS LA right now trying to contact us to get in this stream or on a Zoom. I got CBS LA right now who want to talk to us. I don't know.
Bring them in.
Okay, hold on. Let me try and coordinate this.
All right. All right. So Tim, sorry,
I
Mr.
always
Ben.
said, even down here, I would almost rather deal with the cartels than the corruption of the government and the police here. Trying to get anything done, because I'm in the business and investment environment in Mexico, and I talk quite a bit about it. But I've heard of just horror stories of people setting up businesses here, how long it takes with government bureaucracy, and you've got to bribe everyone.
It's the same in West Virginia. I kid you not, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, on all levels of government here in Mexico to get anything done. A real estate project, good luck on that. You better have some brown bag money.
Let me tell you something. So they put new legislation in. I can't say the name of the restaurant because I'm working with them, and they have I will tell you, they do have my favorite tortilla soup. So you guys, I'm not telling you who it is. You only have 2 to choose from. But anyway, so they had a fire in their restaurant, and it's a leased property. So they were able to build a new building. I mean, it's very nice. It's going to be a beautiful generational restaurant, been feeding the community here for decades. And now, because of new fire code legislation, the fire sprinkler system, which they could have installed as they were building, but of course they had to change it. So hopefully they'll get grandfathered in. But the sprinkler system is going to cost them as much as the whole property did. And so now they're at a standstill. So we are working to get that legislation changed. You guys, when we're talking about codifying things into law, into legislation, remember, let's take care of our own houses. My father said the worst law that was ever passed that was against our rights was the seatbelt law. He said when they passed the seatbelt law, it was over for us. The insurance companies, now you save money. You know what I'm saying? It's just a big old. So with the cartels, and I like the way that you guys give a greater understanding. It is fraud. It absolutely is fraud, Mr. Adams. So what I'd like to get from you is I really like the way that you guys are bringing forth, because it's like Goodfellas. You remember that movie Goodfellas with the mafia? I view it no differently. They did something where the police couldn't do something because of laws, legislation. They took care of something. Do I agree with the activities? No, but I don't know all the activities they're doing. So it seems like y'all have a better idea. You've actually met some. And I'm a felon myself, you guys, here in the United States. Yes, I did go to prison. I served time in prison. So you can't judge a book by its cover. So I love what you're saying about, the relationship. And one person even commented that 50% of the cartel are police. I didn't even know that was possible. So you guys explain that when I'm listening in.
Well, here's what I've experienced down here. A friend of mine likes to smoke weed. So he's meeting a cartel member to buy his weed. Literally 3 feet over or 5 feet over is a cop, a municipal police officer, standing right there, seeing this whole transaction go down. And the person who is acquiring the weed was asking the cartel, he was worried, like, what are we doing here? There's a cop right here to the cartel member. And the cartel member literally gave the cop the finger, acknowledged that what he's doing, and that they control the cops. So at the municipal level,
can I give you a similar story? Can I give you a similar story? Hold on one second. This is funny. So when I was in prison, I did 3 years in prison, and the correctional officers, you're not really supposed to get stuff. So I would have people get canteen for me because I wasn't able. It's a long story. And so they're supposed to sneak it to you, and she handed it to the officer, and I was like, and she was like, "Oh no, she's cool." So these long-term prisoners had these correctional officers that helped them out for whatever risk their job to help them out and stuff like that. So I get it. I love what you're saying. And I used to have people when I had an opiate addiction, they were like, "Oh yeah, just go over to Mexico. They stand there at the pharmacy. I don't know, it was crazy." But I was like, "No, I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll stay right here and get through my sentence and do better." But yeah, so I mean,
I do have a similar story as well. There's something that happens quite frequently in Playa del Carmen. It's kind of an ongoing, work with the police. That what happens is, on the main tourist strip on Quinta Avenida, what will happen is that, if you walk around, listen, when I first moved there, I had to explain to my 11 and 12-year-old what cocaine was, because people are literally just opening, "You want cocaine? You want ecstasy?" They just say it on the main road. So at some point in time, I did have to have the discussion with my kids, like that's what they're trying to sell, because they're hearing it right, left, and center. But this is what happens, right? They'll take you around the corner, so you feel like you're doing something, like, not that I was doing it, but this is, what happens. They'll take you around the corner, and you'll buy it around the corner. And then when you come back on the main road, just the next block up, right, the police will arrest you. They'll take it. You pay the police to let you continue about your day. And then they run over and hand the product right back to the guy who sold it to you. And they just keep that loop going. So it just goes to show you that some cartels are in uniform. And that's why, that the alternative government does matter. It does. It's just a loop. They work with each other.
Well, an interesting story is that article I had linked here with regards to what just happened today. Even in that article, the head cartel leader El Mencho, when he started off, there was a period of time where he actually worked for the police to get an understanding of how the police system worked, and had maybe made his connections, and then left and did what he did. So I think you're right. They're hand in hand in a way, but that's to be kind of expected, because I think you see that in lots of different countries around the world. Even in Canada, there was just some raid on several police officers that were corrupt, even, let alone politicians. I could tell you stories about politicians in Canada being corrupt, in particular Justin Trudeau, and I seen it firsthand. I mean, not that I've seen it firsthand, but I understood what happened firsthand. And in one of the licensed producers in Canada, Justin Trudeau was the guy's right-hand man. And I'm sure he got tons of shares from one of the biggest cannabis companies in Canada. So you know what? I look at it this way. Anyone who seeks power is a sociopath right from the beginning. Doug Casey says it all the time. And that's no different if you're in government or at the cartel. So it's one hand and the other. I mean, they work together in ways that most people will dismiss it, but it would not surprise me to see they have a lot of synergies and alliances that work together for them.
Yeah, totally. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say also, I'm not sure if you want to, CBSLA is looking to get your contact info. So I don't know if you want to shoot me a DM, and if you want to get on live with them as well. That's up to you. I don't know if they're going to come onto our StreamYard, but I think they want to get onto a Zoom with you and potentially Dave with Boots on Ground. If you guys are interested.
Set it up. You've got all my information.
Yeah. Hang on here.
Sorry, Vin. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
And I was going to tell you, Vin, I don't know how long this live stream is going to go. I think Barbie was just wanting to go. And I might have to get up and down some, or we could come back on later. But if you ever come on here, I'll say when, you can always attach one of your platforms, your YouTube, whatever, as a guest. It's really easy to do. It looks like you might be on a laptop. It shouldn't really matter, but give me just a second. Y'all keep talking about this. I've got to jump up and go take some more medicine. I'll be right back. I usually don't take any medicine, but for what this is going on.
I know we were all sick. I'm dying too. My poor son is here. He's like half asleep on my knee right now. But I was like, Regina, it's going down. We need to make this happen right now. But yeah, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, what I'll do, Vin Maru, I'll shoot you a message. I gotta find you in this group again here. There's lots of things going on.
Gina's message. I don't,
Yeah, just go to the private chat. Just go to the private chat. All of us are involved. I'm in the United States, so I think, anybody who can be involved in it, that's the goal, right? That's the goal, to get awareness on what's going on and get people safely in a good position, get everything worked out. So I think information is key. So yeah, Barbie, work that out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you want what I just shot you a message on Telegram. So if you are down to get on CBS, like, this is unfolding. We're out here doing this live. So this is unfolding. If you want to get on with CBS LA and talk about what's going on, they're here for it. They're ready for your info.
Sure. So I don't see a message from you on Telegram though.
You're Vin, right?
Yeah.
Shows you online now. I just sent it to you, not in the group. I sent it to you a direct message.
Let me check my phone. Maybe it's not. I'm on my computer too. So
that's been happening to me lately as well, actually, with Telegram, where it's like half coming through.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah. Okay. I see you there on my phone. Yeah. You want to give them my contact info from Telegram or
yeah,
I don't know how else they'll reach. I can send you my email to send to them so they can add me to Zoom.
Yeah, for sure. Let me do that. And like Regina said, like, I didn't know what was going to happen here. We're seeing so much stuff unfolding. So it's just like the conversation's just continuing faster.
Yeah, that's my email that they can send me for a Zoom invite if they want to do it. And it's CBS News out of LA.
Yeah. I should clarify if it's out of Louisiana or out of like Los Angeles.
No worries.
Either way. Okay, awesome. I know Regina took off here, but I think we're solid. I mean, we've done a lot. Thanks so much for popping up and giving your perspective on things, and great to meet you, unfortunately, in this way.
Yeah. Well, I actually have now I have you on Telegram and Dave's, because I wouldn't mind even connecting on another podcast for my Financial Liberties channel at some point.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm the Bitcoin Barbie. So I'm definitely, like Dave said, we met at Monerotopia last week. Okay. I mean, I've been in crypto, so I'm definitely all in the finance game and all of that. So yeah, let's set up.
Yeah. I'm a precious metals guy, but I've followed crypto and Bitcoin, but I keep talking about the new fintech world we're entering into, digital assets, tokenization of all assets is all.
Oh, you're going to love this. So I'm actually working with a project. Yeah, I'm working with a project called Gold Back Bond. We're about to launch very shortly, and it's tokenized gold bonds.
Okay, I've got lots of
synergy. All about the RWA. We'll get into it. We'll get into it for sure. But
before y'all get into that, you guys, I have to make a quick an announcement, you guys. So we have 2 live streams coming up this week. Tuesday night at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys, we are going to be having Echoes from Above with us. Let me pull up his YouTube channel. He's going to be joining me in a collab. I'm so excited about it. I've been a fan of this guy for a long time, ever since I think I came across him when Brett Cooper left the Daily Wire, maybe. But anyway, so he's going to be joining us tomorrow night. I'm usually more prepared than this. So, but here's his YouTube channel, you guys, if you want to go check him out in the meantime. And that's not the right one. Sorry. I have too many screens open, y'all. Okay, here we go. That's the right one. So this is Echoes from Above. You guys go check him out on YouTube. He is also here on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. So we're going to be chopping it up, talking about some things. He's got a great channel. He gives a very balanced perspective as far as I'm concerned. And then you guys join us on Wednesday night where we're going to be having Mr. John Cox from the 3D Response System on our show. You guys know Joe Lanou and Night Court and Grand Jury and all that. Go check him out. That's where these guys are. And we're going to turn things around with school shootings. We don't need to arm the teachers and we don't need to take Second Amendment rights away. So you guys stay tuned for all of that. Remember, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, we will be visiting with Echoes from Above. He's coming to go sit on our porch and talk to us or whatever we have going on. And we're excited about that. Go check him out. In the meantime, get caught up. And then Wednesday, there'll be more stuff coming out. So back to the regularly scheduled programming. Boots on the ground. We are talking about Puerto Vallarta. It started in, y'all said,
Jalisco.
Jalisco. Okay.
Yeah, that's the state. But the state right above is Nueva Vallarta right now, or Nueva Nayarit. It's the state of Nayarit. So, yeah, it's been going on the whole area. But again, as we've been reporting, we're hearing it going across Mexico in various regions. So this is a power grab. This is what I actually think it is. It's going to be a power grab. And we'll see how it all plays out.
What would you like to ultimately see happen? Like if it were to go one way or the other, do you have any, or do you want to hold that off?
Well, it's a mixed thing. There's some advantages to having a cartel but a lot more disadvantages. So, for me, I look at Mexico as a lot of opportunity. There's lots of freedoms available, and I think there's amazing opportunity going forward as a nation because you have some great fundamentals, demographic fundamentals in Mexico. But I think the biggest thing that's been holding back Mexico in general is two things: the cartels and the government. So if you can reduce both in a way, it would be nice. I think the first thing would be obviously the cartels because they do in other regions. I mean, they are interfering in a lot of activities that curtails business activity and investments into Mexico. So foreign direct investments, whether it's sovereign nations investing in Mexico or not. But the government's also got to eliminate some of the corruption. Now, when you talk about the police being corrupt, in a way, I can see why they do shake down people for money is because they don't get paid nearly as much as what a counterparty in the U.S. would get paid. So, I mean, I don't know the exact salary here in Mexico for a police officer, but I'm assuming like 25, 30,000 pesos a month, which is not really a lot here. So this is their side income, but everyone's got a side hustle that makes cash here.
Sounds good. All right. Where are we at, Barbie? What do we want to show people? So we started out, lots of people are coming in. We want to let them know what's going on. So we started out the live stream about an hour and a half ago. And y'all explain to them what's going on over. Sorry, I just lost my complete train of thought. Forgive me. So you guys, we do have some visual aid for you. I'll be getting that up. So right now we're talking about what's going on in Mexico, you guys. So we've got breaking live, Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, cartel activity reports, roadblocks, vehicle fires, federal response. So from what we know, and our viewers have been wonderful about giving us comments, is so far, apparently a leader was killed, then his son was apprehended. Now they are demanding, sounds like, give us this and, or we're doing this. And it does to me sound like a very coordinated attack.
Well, even if they do give the son back, if that person is in custody, I don't think it still ends. I mean, it just seems that's just one thing of a bigger powder keg that has now literally blown open. And I think, we could see escalation. Now, hopefully we've seen the worst of it. I mean, yeah, there's been lots of car bombings, like a whole city when you look around town. I mean, you're just seeing smoke coming from all regions of Vallarta. And now it's died off a bit in the last hour or so. I seen more cops around, so I was looking out my window, and I see a few cops walking around now. So maybe a bit of it has subsided, but at any point this could all flare up again, and what's
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so Barbie dropped down. I think unless she comes back up, we went for about an hour and a half. You said it seems like things are dying down some. Let's regroup, and if we do go on another live stream, then we'll definitely bring you on. And let me get subscribed to your channel so I don't lose track of you. Because usually I like follow somebody on where did it go? I just had it up here. Where happened to it? Oh, here we go. Wait, it's in the private chat. Anyway, I'm gonna go subscribe to your channel, get all that. I've got too many tabs open trying to do too much. Oh, here's Barbie. Hold on, let me bring her back up. Barbie, go ahead. Do you want to start closing this out in a little bit, or if people are coming in? He said he thinks things are starting to die down. Have you gotten any more reports? Let the viewers know. I'm gonna drop down for just a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. No, for sure. As of now, I'm not seeing anything new coming in. I am, again, like I said, one of the messages is saying, hey guys, there's an announcement inside my condo. Neighbors, I recommend everyone stay home today. This is coming from the Tulum Cozumel. So sorry, I'll get through this. So hello neighbors, I recommend everyone staying home today and avoid driving on the roads. This morning I saw a car that was set on fire at Santa Maya, which is one of the malls in Playa del Carmen. I'm very familiar with that area. And now I'm checking the news. It appears that several more vehicles have been set on fire in Tulum, Cozumel, Cancun, and several other states across Mexico. So yeah, I mean these cars being set on fire or exploding. This is a very real thing.
Yeah. I've had a friend just message me. I mean, there's this stay-at-home order going on and around the city here. So, and it's funny because I went out early this morning around just before 11 because I started seeing the smoke, and I'm going, "What's going on? This is unusual." And I thought, "Oh, you know what? Let me grab my phone and go out there." And I went and took like a 4-minute video of it. Started walking back, and then I realized, all right, this is something bigger happening. Get back home, and I actually start to dig in to see what the news is. And on my way home, I've even had a couple of Mexican nationals start speaking to me in Spanish. It looks like I'm from Mexico, so everyone speaks to me in Spanish. And it was basically, yeah, this is something going on with the cartels. And then get back home, and I find out what actually happened with the head cartel leader,
Right.
El Mencho, getting taken down.
Right. Yeah, it's who knows? I honestly, like, for your sake being in Jalisco state, I'm hoping that everything kind of dies down for you, and that it dies, like, ideally, I think having a seamless end to this would be the ideal. Do I think that's going to happen? The fact that they took out a head cartel member this morning, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think we're going to see any rest. This is the first hours of it. We're seeing things happen across multiple states. So quite honestly,
Well, you could almost allude this to Maduro being captured and taken, and then you've seen, and I don't know what the aftermath has happened in Venezuela, but obviously the right-hand woman has now taken over. I think things have changed. I mean, when you take down a head cartel leader like this, you're almost taking down one of the heads of the states, regardless if it's a government official. I mean, the cartels are probably just as equally powerful as the
government.
Yeah. So this is what's happening. And you know what? Maybe it's a good thing because they've been talking about it for a while, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have a vote in the cartel and who's the leader. They just enforce it on you. And here, and as in any other country, whether you believe the democracy state exists and you can actually, your vote really counts, that's one thing or another, but at least you had the ability to have that vote.
Yeah. Well, you guys, that's what we have so far. Mr. Vin, I'm hoping you'll keep in contact with us. Let us know what's going on in your area. And definitely, I don't think this is the last time we'll be seeing each other. Barbie, did you have any closing words? Let them know. We will keep them posted. And Barbie will have me on it. If I need to go live, she'll be like, hey, we've got this. We need to just get in touch with Barbie. You guys, I have to say it. Serious inquiries only, please. When you're reaching out to Barbie, me, I don't care. You could blow me up. But please give us 24 to 48 hours time to get back to you. And you guys let us know what's going on in your area. You guys, please remember to go visit Mr. Vin over on his YouTube channel. I've got it up right here. My mouth is going dry. Here we go. Boom. So this is Mr. Vin's YouTube channel. You guys go over there and let me subscribe while I'm on here. Boom. There we go. Got you a subscriber. All right, guys.
This is interesting. I just want to say this because the CBS LA people said, and this is the interesting, this is where media, when we're not us doing the media, they said we're specifically looking, and I'm just going to read it because I don't give a fuck. But
please do. I want out them
thank you.
And save the email. Save the email.
Yeah, we're specifically looking to speak with people who are from the U.S. and they're in Mexico for vacation. And I said, no, we live here full time. Okay, I see. We're on ground, but we're not. Hold on, we're not tourists. So we're specifically looking for people who are stuck tourists. Did you shoot any video of the attacks that you can share? We can use that on air and online to credit you with them. So their storyline that they're going with is whatever storyline they're going with. They don't care about reporting. They just want to
what they're going to do. They're going to
stuck in Mexico.
Well, they don't want to hear an alternative narrative to what could be actually going on. They want to hear the victim mentality of a tourist.
That's what they want. And they
also
people in a level of fear. Ironically, you know what? When I was walking out while this was all going down, I actually didn't even think of it. Like I've seen other people walking around. Was no level of fear.
Well, they're going to go back through the live stream now. And if they do get stuff, please give me credit for it. We would love that. So give us all credit for it. We appreciate you. Yeah. And if they're serious about wanting stuff, ask your people, do you want to share your story? This is who this is. And, whatever. But you guys, thank you for joining. My name is Regina Connell. Now, Morgan and I came up with a thing for the rebranding. She said every time she edits a video and I mess up my new name, she's going to charge me $1 and put it in the video. So you guys, this is
love it. But yeah, thank you so much, Vin, for coming up, and great to meet you. Like I said earlier, and I think this is ironically one of the first of many podcasts that we may be doing. So
when I become
Telegram, if you ever want me to join on something,
yes,
it's mostly financial Mexico coverage, but we follow global events and how they all manifest out and change what we're going through in today's transition. So it'd be great to have you on and chat soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys, we will see you on the flip flop. Stay tuned. Remember we didn't even talk about, this is Regina Connell with West Virginia Wire rebranding. So you guys be sure you keep your save the date for April the 6th. 2026. It will be Regina's rebrand reveal. And we're going to be talking all of that. So we're going from West Virginia Wire to Wild and Wired Media. Morgan's going to be so excited that I got that out. You guys, thanks for joining. We'll catch you on the flip flop. We'll catch you on the next one. Everybody say bye. Bye,
Ciao.
bye, bye,
bye.
Bye. Adios.
Adios. I'm going to make you stand up here in this weird awkwardness because I can't figure out my stuff here. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. We're ending it.
Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams, running fast, feeling no delay. We're the watchdogs, always watching what they say. Eyes wide open, we're taking what's ours. Breaking through the silence, aiming for the stars.